and 2 signature sauces, all for just $10.
Love that chicken from Popeyes, and I won't back down.
While the Cowboys had to come from behind for the second week in a row, Dallas trailed by as many as 15 in the second half against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. But Dak put on a show through the air, passing for 472 yards and 3 touchdowns, and regained the lead with 4 minutes to go. Seattle answered with their own touchdown, giving Dak just under 2 minutes to work with. The Cowboys got just outside the red zone, but Dak ended up throwing his second interception of the game, ending Dallas's hopes. Fox Sports NFL analyst Michael Vick joining us this morning. Michael, it is great to have you. Now, I want to start with you here. Did the Seahawks win this game, or did the Cowboys lose it?
It's a little bit of both. I think the Seahawks did what was necessary to win the game, and the Cowboys did what they did to lose the game. Now, first of all, both of these teams are playing in the same circumstances. Banged up secondaries, banged up offensive line. The biggest difference was Russell threw 5 touchdowns and I think made no picks. And, you know, Dak threw 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and had a fumble. And there's your game. Shannon, you cannot turn the ball over in critical moments and give up that type of field position. It usually results in points that you have to make up. And it's hard to score in the NFL. And you know, there were bright spots for Dallas. Yes, Dak threw for 450 yards. You know, I thought the receiving corps showed up. Still looking for Zeke to step up in bigger moments. You know, I think it's been tough with them trying to get him going. But certainly the Seattle Seahawks took advantage of a banged-up Dallas secondary. And Dallas took advantage of a banged-up Seahawks secondary, but in the end, it came down to the turnovers. You know, as cliche as it is, you know, this was the difference maker in this game. And, you know, one of these teams need to go sign Earl Thomas, I will say that.
Aha. Did you catch that last line?
I heard what he said.
Yeah.
But he won't mention. But he won't mention that he picked the Cowboys, and I tried to talk him out of it on Friday. I said, Mike, don't do that.
You did.
I said, don't pick against Russ.
I was trying to keep that quiet.
Well, he thought Jerry was going to go get Earl Thomas.
He go get Earl Thomas on Saturday or Sunday.
Who knows?
I think the Seahawks won this ball game because, as you mentioned, you look at it. Russ threw 5 touchdowns. He had another one. DK Metcalf had another touchdown. It was supposed to be 6 touchdowns, and the game wasn't supposed to be this close. You think about it. Yes, Dak threw 2 interceptions, but the Seattle defender's on the ground, Russ. Dak hits it between the numbers. It pops up, Gallup catches it, and it's starting to run down the field. So theoretically, he should have had 3 picks and a fumble. I think the thing is why they can't really use Zeke as effective as they need to is that they keep falling behind, Skip. You can't keep falling behind by 15, 16 points, falling behind by like they did against the Rams, and still be able to run the football. Those targets that Zeke had in the passing game, they should have been rush attempts. He should get 12 more rush attempts as opposed to 12 targets in the passing game.
Do you realize how many balls hit him in the face and he couldn't hold on?
He's still not
at least
not fluid.
He could catch the ball, but he's not like Kamara.
No.
He's not like Christian McCaffrey, just a naturally talented, gifted catcher. He's worked on it and gotten better, but he's not fluid at catching the ball like those guys. And so when you look at it, the Cowboys' defense still isn't very good. They don't consistently generate the pressure. I thought Russell Wilson, I thought his offensive line did a better job. And when Russ is a guy, Skip, if it's not there, he got hit one time, Skip. How he was able to hold on to the ball when the defensive guy hit him from the blind side, and even though it was holding on the defense, he still held on to the ball. That just goes to show you that he is conscious. And when that guy hit, the ball popped out. The Cowboys didn't lose this game. The Seahawks won this ball game with exemplary play by Russ and a timely, big-time... Skip, they only rushed 3 guys. On that last series, they rushed 3 guys. They had Shaquem Grant, I think his name, is that his name?
Griffin,
yeah.
They had him scanning.
Yep.
So he's checking, okay, running back. I'm just going to follow Dak, see where he goes. And they got 2 sacks and a hit on Dak, rushing 3 against 5 on the Dallas offensive line. Seahawks won. Dallas didn't lose it. They lost, but they didn't lose it.
My Cowboys lost this game. All you need to know, the final score was 3-0 in reverse because my quarterback made 3 big blunders and gave them 3 footballs, and the first 2 resulted in short field touchdowns. And up there, if you give Russell Wilson 2 short fields and 2 gimme, 7 and 14 points, you're not going to be able to overcome it. And
had they had the 12th man, they'd have hung 55 on you.
They might have. I will buy that. But that's one reason I picked Dallas to win this game. The reason I have some hope and heart for my team is my team made Russell Wilson punt 7 times yesterday. How often does that happen up there? It's just hard to stop them. They punted 7 times, and yet my secondary had 3 huge breakdowns that would not have happened, I believe, if Earl Thomas had been a Cowboy yesterday back in his old stomping grounds. I'm talking about the first ball to Lockett when he's just home free. It's like, did anybody see the most dangerous deep threat maybe in football? Did anybody check him? No, they just let him go right through the zone, and he went untouched for 43 yards.
You do know
can't do that.
That's what caused that blow up in Baltimore.
Okay.
Because Earl was blowing assignments left and right, doing his own thing.
Maybe he wouldn't have blown that one. And to your point on the DK Metcalf, it's 62 yards. He just smokes Trevon Diggs.
Yes.
And Diggs did not quit on the play.
Right.
And Metcalf learned a lesson. I think he will learn for the rest of his career because I don't think he'll ever do that again. And then Metcalf got free going all the way through the backside of the zone for 29 yards for the game winner. I just believe if you had Earl Thomas spoiling to get even with his old team, his original franchise back home in Seattle, that he would have made 2 or 3 big plays that would have turned that game, the tide in favor of Dallas. And as Dak said after the game, we just couldn't get out of our own way. Well, all they did was put up 522 yards, which is extraordinary. All they did was go 7 of 15 on 3rd down and 2 of 2 on 4th down. Those are the kind of numbers that win football games, but you can't give it to them.
Right.
You can't give Russell gifts. How did they beat Atlanta? Dallas didn't turn it over. Neither did Atlanta. But the point was, Dallas didn't make mistakes like that in that game. And once again, they had the blunder on the goal line. Tony Pollard muffed the kickoff, and then they get a safety. Zeke just seemed out of it all day to me.
Mike, hold on. Mike, before you go, I'm going to make sure I'm hearing Skip Bayless right. Skip Bayless is telling me that you need Earl Thomas on a team that has Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Wilson as the offensive firepower. So, and you telling me you don't have, hold on. The guy that criticized LeBron James saying he needs more help wants Dak Prescott to get more help?
Wait, are we putting Dak and LeBron in the same sentence?
Thank
you.
How much weapon?
Well, that's some respect.
Hold on.
You need some deep.
What about D-Law? Is D-Law any good?
He's got a bad knee. They said he didn't practice all week. I don't know.
Well, tell him to put $100,000 in the shoe and walk properly.
Okay.
I mean, he got all that money. He got a bad. Okay, what about your linebacker, Smith? Jalen Smith. How you doing, Skip?
He's been a big disappointment.
So I'm just trying to figure, y'all got all these guys, just like Evans and Griffin.
And Leighton Vander Esch is just watching again because he's always hurt.
Yeah, what up, Vick?
But just like you got offense, you need some defense, baby.
You need defense.
You need some. You need
a made man on the back end.
Offense.
But you know,
they got Alden Smith. He's stepping up.
He is.
They just need a little bit more.
But you know, a lot of times, Mike, sometimes people spend their money on the defensive side of football, and sometimes they spend their money on the offensive side of the football. Now, I think the Cowboys have got their money spread out pretty good. They got D-Law. They got Jalen Smith. Vander Esch was a first-round draft pick. You know, they signed Everson Griffin. Although Alden Smith has been out of the league for 5 years, Tristan Hill is playing well. Woods is playing well. They got some guys that are playing well, Skip, but you can't turn it over.
You did not name Xavier Woods. You did not name Darian Thompson. They're both nice kids.
Yeah, they guys, Skip.
But they're just guys, and they're going to get run by, and they're going to blow some coverages, and you're not good enough on the back end to be a factor, to be a contender.
And they say, okay, we're going to blow some coverages. We're going to get run by. So can Dak not turn it over? When y'all going to hold Dak accountable?
Well, I have. I did.
Hold on. Don't Dak, how many picks Dak got?
Well, you're the man who says, pay the man, right? That's all I hear. Pay the man.
And he going to get paid.
Yeah.
It's at $41 million now.
Yesterday might be as tough as it's going to get for the Dallas Cowboys. They got the NFC East that they can be excited about in terms of competing. And next week they got to take care of the Cleveland Browns.
On shake and bake. I got on shake and bake.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett going to have about 4 sacks.
Good things, man. I expect him to do some really good things.
Let's go, Myles Garrett.
So
I was excited about yesterday.
So, Michael Vick, I got to ask you one other question. Can you explain the mentality of my quarterback, Dak Prescott, because he led the NFL last year in second-half passing yards, and it wasn't even close. And here we go again yesterday. He had a good first half, 181 yards passing, but in the second half, after he turned it over on the first play and they fell behind 30-15, here he comes and he throws for 291 in the second half. What is going on in the psyche? Why can't he start the engine a little sooner? It's almost like he has to be in hopeless mode before he gets great.
Yeah, I know that's not a good sign, Skip, and being honest. You can't fall behind and then the light goes off. Now you got to start making plays, and, the plays that you may have been afraid to run in the first half, now you just throwing everything, out there in the second half. It happens. It's real. I know that feeling because